Welcome once again to the Universal Wrestling Federation Fury Hour. I'm Craig DeGeorge. You know this guy, wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino. And we've got a great 1 hour of wrestling excitement for you. Another newcomer to mention to the UWF. Seems like every week we're talking about it. This time, Terry Gordy making his way here.
Terry Gordy is known internationally. He's big in Japan. He's big all over the United States. He has quite a reputation, and he too has joined the UWF because he knows that that's where it's at.
Bruno, great tag teams here in the UWF, and one of the new tag teams that has been developing, Sunny Beach and Steve Ray, the Wild Thing, Wet and Wild, and we'll see them in action.
Sunny Beach and Wild Ray, I'll tell you, the Wild Thing, I should say.
Yeah.
These guys are exciting. The people love it. They come like they're natural together. They've done real well in a little bit they've been together, and I think that these guys are going to go far.
I will also be talking about the television tournament to decide the UWF Championship. More on that, and many more matches to go. Right now, let's get to Herb Abrams for tonight's card.
A great show again, Craig and Bruno, as Terry Gordy makes his UWF debut in our leadoff match. B. Brian Blair buzzes into the Fury Hour tonight as he demonstrates his great tactical moves. The wild Samoan Alpha is back again for another battle in the squared circle. His opponent, the very popular Rock from Honolulu, Don Muraco. Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, just 1 week away from his steel cage match battle with Dr. Death, gets a Fury Hour tune-up match tonight. And in the feature matchup, the new notorious duo of Cowboy Bob Orton and Cactus Jack with John Tolos, the Golden Greek. They meet up with the blonde bombshells of Surf and Turf, Steve Ray and Sunny Beach, Wet and Wild. We'll answer another lucky viewer's question on our popular segment, Ask the Wrestlers. And Captain Lou rolls ashore again with another Captain Lou's Corner.
This is Captain Lou Albano telling you to call me every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Captain Lou Albano rap line. That's right, you'll get your best in the views of professional wrestling, news and views, and also personalities in the world of entertainment. It's Captain Lou, baby. Don't forget to call me every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Captain Lou, baby, your fountain of information, and I'm talking to you. Woo! I feel good. Hello?
The Beach Brawl is coming June 9th. UWF's first live pay-per-view extravaganza to crown the Sports Channel television champion. Call your local cable operator for details.
Craig DeGeorge back with Bruno Sammartino. The date again is June 9th for the Beach Brawl somewhere in Florida. We'll be announcing that in a couple of weeks. The pay-per-view event. The Universal Wrestling Federation Television Championship.
Indeed, and looking forward to it. But right now we're looking at a big guy here in Terry Gordy. There's a guy that the fans are certainly familiar with. He's been around, and he's certainly one of the top names in professional wrestling today. Again, against Captain Bad.
Captain Bad has had his troubles in past weeks against Dr. Death Steve Williams, and certainly he's going to have his hands full again this week with Terry Gordy, another one of the UWF stars who's been wrestling extensively in Japan. In fact, the tag team, Bruno, I understand Dr. Death and Gordy were champions in Japan.
Yes, they are, and they in Japan they really are very respected. And I think that this guy as well, Gordy, does more wrestling in Japan than he does here in the States. In the States here, he mostly, I think, wants to be with UWF. And, of course, he wants to compete for that pay-per-view event that's going to be coming up because there's that title at stake, you know. Whoever can capture that title, of course, it's going to be a prestigious thing. It's going to mean a lot to their careers. So Gordy, he adds to the long, long list of all these great competitors here.
And he'd like to make sushi out of Captain Bad right here, and he quickly flips him over. He's really a guy, Bruno, of brute strength. Not a guy who's going to show you a lot of scientific moves. He can really do it with power.
Yeah, but he can too, though.
The moves.
He has got the moves, but like you say, he's a big guy. He's strong. You know, he's pretty vicious, but he can, if he wants to, he can impress you with some good moves in that ring.
And Captain Bad, oh boy, right there, Captain Bad threw Gordy into the ropes, but he took the punishment. Now he's body slammed. And he may put him away here, hooks the leg. 2, and no, didn't get it.
Come on, ref, that was 3.
Oh, well.
Somebody thought it was 3.
No, it was not 3, it was 2, and it was obvious that Captain Bad got out of it. Now with this side headlock by Terry Gordy. Knowing Gordy, he's got more in mind than just a regular side headlock. Let's see what he does with it.
Looks like he's taking his time here, Bruno, kind of sizing up his opponent. We've got a big week, big Fury Hour coming your way. We'll see B. Brian Blair. I like this matchup, the Rock Don Muraco against Alpha later on.
That's going to be a good match. Look forward to that one.
And how about the tag team, Mr. Wonderful as well, and the Ace Cowboy Bob Orton teaming up with Cactus Jack against Wet and Wild. And look at the strength there, Bruno.
Well, I'll give you a little bit, as you said a while ago about his strength, and you just saw that. There's a guy who comes flying from those ropes, and he just caught him midair, like very, very easily. No strain to him at all.
Wet and Wild, certainly one of the most exciting tag teams, but the combination of the Ace and Cactus Jack is such an unorthodox kind of a grouping, and certainly those wrestlers, too, are the most unique in the UWF. That's going to be something else.
But Wet and Wild have shown us the little bit that they've been together, they really go well together, and so far you must say that they've been impressed. Of course, as you say, they're meeting a very formidable team. And
look at Gordy, Bruno. He's holding the back of the mask of Captain Bad. Oh, my. There's a devastating clothesline right into the turnbuckle. And he was kicking him, and Captain's Bad his head had nowhere to go. Look out. This could be that power bomb. He drops him back. And then gets all the leverage to put him away. Oh, boy. Did you see that move?
You know, Gordy's a very tall guy. The way he scuffed him up and dumped him like that, you knew that that was it. Very impressive victory.
Terry Bam Bam Gordy is in the UWF, and I'm here to kick some butts and take some names, and I'm here after some titles, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get me some titles right here, UWF. Yeah.
Our next live UWF show takes place at the Hotel Pennsylvania in New York City, with the continuation of the Elimination Tournament to crown the eventual Sports Channel television champion. That'll be on Friday night, May the 10th, beginning at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday night, May 11th, the UWF travels to upstate New York and a fabulous event at the State University in Delhi. Tickets for both of these UWF wrestling shows in May are available now by calling 516-587-4UWF. Don't miss out. Call now. The Fury Hour resumes right after this.
Thank you, George, back with Bruno Sammartino at the Hotel Pennsylvania, where we will return on Friday, May the 10th, for a big card of UWF action. And also, we're going to be, Bruno, at the State University at Delhi in upstate New York on Saturday, May 11th.
Very good. Right now, we have B. Brian Blair, and he will face Brian Donahue. Now, I don't know that Brian Donahue, in case, you know, you didn't know, Greg, let me inform you that this guy played for the New York Jets for a couple of years. So he's a former football player. I don't know too much about his amateur background, but he certainly is a big fella. He's tall, and he's well, like I say, I don't know how many years experience he has in professional wrestling, but he's going to be tested because he's going to be in there against B. Brian Blair.
B. Brian Blair, certainly one of the stars here in the UWF, and he's got to be at least a contender for the UWF Television Wrestling Championship, which of course is coming up, the Beach Brawl on pay-per-view, available on your local cable systems on June the 9th. And next week, Bruno, we will announce the exact location. We do know it will be somewhere in the beautiful Sunshine State.
Well, that's great. We know it's going to be in Florida. We know it's going to be exciting because we know that there's some great competitors involved in this. And on that particular day, we will have a Sport Channel American television champion, and that is exciting, and that's something I'm really looking forward to.
And of course, the great thing about it is you do not have to be in Florida to witness the event live. You can see it on pay-per-view as it happens, and we will be there to call it for you. B. Brian Blair, side headlock. Now tying up Donahue nicely for the back and takes him down with a good leg takedown from behind.
He went from a headlock to turn to a hammer lock, and he came down and hooked the leg and took him down on the leg dive, and he went back to the hammer lock, and he's got Brian Donahue a little bit confused now. He's helping Nelson. Now he takes him down.
Good amateur moves by B. Brian Blair.
Well, Brian Blair, one thing about him, he'll give you a combination of things in that ring. He'll give you some clever wrestling moves. He will give, here's a nice fireman carry. He's very good with aerial stuff, such as drop kicking and what have you. And if somebody wants to get a little nasty in there, Blair certainly can stand up to anybody's style if they choose to go that way.
Really a good citizen as well, Bruno. He works with several charities in the Tampa Bay area. Talks to ill people and goes to schools and warns them about the dangers of drugs and what have you. B. Brian Blair.
Yeah, he's a model citizen.
That's that great Scorpion, too. You talk about great moves in the UWF. I think the Scorpion comes to mind. Look at Donahue talking about nice moves, taking down B. Brian Blair.
But look at Donahue now. He got this. He got a move here. He got Brian Blair hurt. And look at the hesitation. It's taken him almost 40 seconds or so before he came down with that forearm blow. You can't do that. That's one thing that I'm amazed at some of these people. You have your opponent in trouble. When he's in trouble, that's when you've got to be most aggressive in trying to bring the match to a conclusion.
Can only assume, Bruno, that Brian Donahue does not have Sports Channel America, because you've been talking every week about guys who just are not using the rapidity of moves. And
well, perhaps he's still green, because I don't think he's been a pro too long. As I said earlier, this guy did play for the New York Jets, I think, 2 years. So he's made the transition from football to wrestling. I'm sure he had somewhat of a wrestling background from his high school, college days. But still, when you've been out of it, it takes a while to really come back. I know he's been training hard, but, he's being tested really here because he goes in there against a veteran and a guy who's really very skilled in B. Brian Blair.
Has the Kelly green colors, which, of course, are the Jets' colors. I wonder if that's the reason he's wearing that. Although he's obviously proud of his Irish heritage with the leprechaun on the tights. Steps over B. Brian Blair, tries to land the elbow, but really telegraphed that one, and B. Brian Blair got out of the way.
Yeah, but you see what he did. He had Brian Blair down. He went to one center ring to give him that blow, but he jumped over him and went again. And that just gave too much time to B. Brian Blair to get his head cleared and got out of the way, and now look who's on the receiving end.
Good knee drop by B. Brian Blair. Still to come, the Rock Don Muraco against Alpha. Mr. Wonderful in action here in the Fury Hour. And, of course, the big tag team match. The Ace Cowboy Bob Orton along with Cactus Jack against Wet and Wild as you look at a power slam by B. Brian Blair.
That'll be a handicap match. Wet and Wild against Cactus, against Orton and Tolos. Don't leave Tolos out, but he cannot keep his nose out of that range when one of his men's in there.
There's that Scorpion, the great Scorpion by B. Brian Blair, and that is plenty to put away Brian Donahue, who may have to go back to the talk show circuit.
Give you people a little secret, a big secret, in fact. I'll tell you what, I've been wrestling for over 35 years. Naturally, I don't look it because I've always kept myself in great shape physically and mentally. I mean, just take a look at me, man. I am it. I am really, really it, and I'm proud of myself. But I'm going to tell you another great big thing. Soon, very soon, June the 9th on Sports Channel America, the champion will be crowned. Seen exclusively on Sports Channel America. This is why I'm so proud to be affiliated with the UWF. This brings back old-time wrestling. I'm talking about when I was wrestling with the 50s, the 60s, and 70s. UWF is bringing back the style in those days. That's why I am here giving my men, my stable, and everybody else my experience. Now, I've wrestled for many, many people in my day, many organizations, but without a doubt, the UWF is the greatest organization I have ever been affiliated with. Now, I'm sure that you people will be all excited. So go to that calendar, put a circle around June the 9th, because that's when Sports Channel TV champion will be exclusively seen on Cablevision. And when you heard it from the Greek, you heard it from the top guy.
Pennsylvania 6. That's Glenn Miller's Pennsylvania 6 5000, a jazz classic and the phone number to a New York classic. The Hotel Pennsylvania is located in one of New York's most dynamic areas, just blocks from the city's highlights and right across the street from the world-famous Madison Square Garden. No matter what your needs are, Pennsylvania 6 5000 is the number for one of the most legendary hotels in New York City. The Hotel Pennsylvania, home of UWF Wrestling. Today's modern strength and power builders need today's best power sauce. And here in the UWF, we have it with two great new drinks. High octane and super weight gain are specially formulated for ultimate serious power and strength. Besides, it's not only for the big guys, it's for the average fellas who want to improve their strength and size. The power products are now available through this exclusive UWF offer.
This is the Golden Greek speaking, and when I travel in style, man, all the way. Look at this beauty. Look at this. The Midnight Express limousine. Beautiful, classy, first class, the ultimate in traveling. This is what the Golden Greek does. Travel in first class. Take a look at this. The Midnight Express beauty. Take a look inside. All the comforts of home, television, telephone, a little refreshment, comfortable ride. What do you need? And it sits everybody comfortably. Remember, the Golden Greek tells you, Midnight Express limousine, the ultimate in limousine service. And if you heard it from the Greek, you heard it from the top man.
The Beach Brawl is coming June 9th. UWF's first live pay-per-view extravaganza to crown the Sports Channel television champion. Call your local cable operator for details.
Yes, Angie. Yes, Gene. Yes, Pete. Yes, Paul. Yes, Joe. Woo! They're all calling the Captain Lou Albano Wrestling Celebrity Hotline, baby. It's 1-900-LOU for you. Hi out there, wrestling fans. This is Captain Lou Albano back again this week with my segment of the Captain's Corner. You know, occasionally in the world of professional wrestling, and I've had some 38 years of it, you get a special treat. Somebody that's a different individual, a different person, a great, great athlete. And I'd like to introduce now a man that is one of a kind. This is Terry Gordy. The man stands 6'5" and weighs some 307 pounds, and the man is unbelievable as a professional wrestler with a great amateur background. This is Terry Gordy.
Thanks a lot, Lou. You know, it's a pleasure standing beside you two, and I'd just like to say you're one of the greatest managers in the world that I've ever seen. And, you know, it's like this. I don't, you know, Lou, I don't claim to be the greatest wrestler in the world. I don't claim to be the man that's held all the titles. But there is one thing that I do claim to do, and that's I can wrap a chair around somebody's head better than anybody in professional wrestling. I'm not the best wrestler in the world, but I can take one of them steel folded chairs outside of the ring, and I have wrapped more of them chairs around people's heads than anybody in professional wrestling.
Well, what the man is saying, folks, is that the man can not only get in there and wrestle and move and groove and has wrestling leverage, wrestling balance, wrestling ability, but if the time calls for it, if the man's got to mix it, if the man's got to call a spade, he's there to do it all. In other words, this man will get out in the ballroom brawl, get out in the back street, get out in the alley, he'll do it all together. He's not afraid. He's got intestinal fortitude, guts, ability. This is Terry Gordy. That's the main man, baby, coming in to the greatest wrestling organization of all time, Universal Wrestling, Terry Gordy.
Testify.
Our Our next live UWF show takes place at the Hotel Pennsylvania in New York City, with the continuation of the elimination tournament to crown the eventual Sports Channel television champion. That'll be on Friday night, May the 10th, beginning at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday night, May 11th, the UWF travels to upstate New York for a fabulous event at the State University in Delhi. Tickets for both of these UWF wrestling shows in May are available now by calling 516-587-4UWF. With many of our troops home from the victorious Persian Gulf War, the UWF has not forgotten those who must stay for a very complicated but necessary cleanup operation. To remember them and provide proceeds for their needs, these Support Our Troops t-shirts are still available for a limited time only. For your shirt, send $15 and check on money order 2, Troop T-shirts, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. Remember, proceeds go to our remaining troops in the Persian Gulf. Hey fans, wrestling's living legend, my partner, Bruno Sammartino, has written an autobiography. And take it from me, this is one terrific story. The book is now available through the special offer from the UWF. Just call 213-822-4187, or you can send for it by check or money order to Bruno's Book, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. And don't forget, include $2.50 for postage and handling.
How are you out there, wrestling fans? This is Captain Lou Albano, who's been affiliated with professional wrestling for some 38 years. I can only say at this time, make the statement that I'm very proud to be affiliated with Universal Wrestling. Now, Sports Channel TV champion will be seen on Cablevision exclusively on June 9th. You know something, fans? I feel very proud, very fine, and very elated to be even associated with Universal Wrestling. I feel that without a doubt, it was one of the finest, if not the finest, wrestling organization in existence. And I have to stake my reputation as Captain Lou Albano that to be with them is an honor for me. And remember, Sports Channel TV champion will be crowned on June 9th. It will be seen exclusively on Cablevision. And I am again saying I am honored as Captain Lou Albano to be connected with this organization. Wrestling where wrestling should be. True wrestling.
Greg DeGeorge back with wrestling's living legend Bruno Sammartino here at the Hotel Pennsylvania, getting set for what should be, Bruno, a most interesting matchup. Why don't you talk about some of the combatants here?
Absolutely, and there he is. Look at that face. Never mistake him for anybody else. That's Hoffa, the wild Samoan. And who's that in the ring? You recognize that man?
It looks like, is that Samu?
Samu,
Yes,
that's
it is.
Samu. There's a tough wrestler. He, of course, walked in with, I guess it's his uncle, isn't it? I'm not even sure.
I believe Samu's his son.
Oh, it's his son?
Yes,
Oh.
that's Hoffa's son.
Okay, and now comes Muraco. And, of course, the first thing Muraco is saying, hey, ref, get that guy out of the ring. It's bad enough to face Hoffa, much less Hoffa and Samu, his son.
I think he said, get him out of New York City, if you can read his lips, Bruno.
And I don't blame him, I'll tell you what, because Muraco, and I give Muraco a lot of, oh, look at this, Samu attacks Muraco.
Samu, and now this is just what The Rock was fearing. Both of the Samoans, the wild Samoans, going to work on The Rock, and now the clothesline to knock him down. And a headbutt, which is just about as vicious as you can get when you're talking about that head.
Boy, this could come to a quick conclusion, I mean, with this vicious attack on Muraco.
Oh, boy, the wild Samoans living up to their name. The Rock, of course, didn't sign up for a handicap match here. It was supposed to be Muraco against Hoffa. And Samu comes out of nowhere, and Dick Kroll, again, his usual trouble handling a 2-on-1 situation.
Well, I think at least we got Samu. I don't see him. I think he may have exited from that ring, which is good news for Muraco, although the bad news is that he took such severe blows in the beginning that he's still got a lot of cobwebs to clear.
Muraco looks like he's, oh no, look at Samu still on the side there, and he continues to chop away at The Rock. Look at that, big elbow to the neck of Muraco.
I spoke too soon. I thought since he didn't see him in that ring, I thought maybe he had escorted back to the dressing rooms, but I guess not.
Since when does Hoffa have a manager? I mean, if his son's coming to visit or watch, fine, but don't come in wrestling gear. The Rock gets thrown to the turnbuckle, but sidesteps. Big Oppo goes hard into the steel pipe. You wonder how Oppo could see through that head of hair, yeah. And of course, after hitting the steel pipe, you wonder how he could see as well. And Muraco sends him outside the ring.
And comes out after him.
And there he goes. And he hasn't even had time to take off his shirt. And oh, he's trying to strangle Oppo now. And he elbows back Samu. And his attention now on the son of Oppo. And back and forth. Wow, we won't see a knocker like that often.
I don't know. It didn't look like it hurt him that bad.
Well, that's because of all the padding these guys have.
I'm hearing the bell, right? The bell just
Yeah, we
rang.
heard the bell. No, Muraco goes into that steel pipe, courtesy of Samu.
Yeah,
and
but
all while breaking loose here at the Penta.
Well, you know, there was so much going on outside the ring. I think that the referee, we could see him for a while there. I think he was trying to bring somebody. He was kind of, I think he was totally ignored. But there was still a 32 against 1, so if any justification here, they should be disqualified, and the win should go to Muraco. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yes, sir.
Well,
wild match here with the Samoans and the Rock Don Muraco, who will, I'm sure, have some words to say to Herb Abrams or somebody here in the UWF for this situation where Samu comes out with Oppo. And now Dick Crow trying to tell him in his very best English.
Crow had no choice. He had to do what he did. He had to disqualify him. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was just the two of them all the way from the very beginning to the end, and yet it concluded.
It's again time for Ask the Wrestlers and your chance to speak to your favorite UWF personality. And this week's question was sent to Cowboy Bob Orton by Dan Brinza of Cleveland, Ohio, who brazenly wants to know why the Cowboy needs the help from his manager, John Tolos. Dan wants to know why Orton can't win on his own.
So Dan from Cleveland wants to know why I need outside interference to win matches. Well, obviously, Danny boy, you're sitting in front of the television with one eye closed and a patch over the other one. I don't need outside interference. What John Tolos gives me is advice. Lets me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong at a certain time, you understand? What you got to do, Danny boy, is you got to go on out there and get it done yourself. You got to think. You got to listen to people. You got to take the advice of the intelligent man like I do from John Tolos to make yourself a better person. You got to jump out there and grab it, Dan. Get it by yourself. That's the way you take care of things, Dan. By yourself, Daddy.
A free UWF t-shirt and cap are on its way to Dan Brinza, and they could be on the way to you too. To join the fun, just send a question to your favorite UWF personality on a postcard to Ask the Wrestlers, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. If we select your question, you'll be an instant winner. Back with more in a moment.
Hey, you little Mr. Wonderfuls out there. You think Mr. Wonderful got to look like this by eating wimp food like cheeseburgers, french fries, and quiche? Get real. A talented, serious athlete like me needs real nutrition. So I drink Joe Weider's Dynamic Muscle Builder. It's got high-quality protein, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and other important stuff I need to beat, meet my opponent in the ring. And it tastes great, too. And it's just like a thick, rich milkshake. Joe Weider's Dynamic Muscle Builder. Tough nutrition for us tough athletes. And here's the number.
Okay, Paul, to order, call 1-800-368-4UWF. Dynamic Muscle Builder is also available by sending a check or money order to Weider Health and Fitness, 702 Washington Street, Marina Del Rey, California, 90292. Or go to your nearest GNC store and ask for Dynamic Muscle Builder.
It's time to pick up that UWF power line and let us hear from you!
Call me now!
All right, we have jotted down the number, Dr. Death, and we are set for another big match here in the Fury Hour. Carmine Galvano and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, who, of course, Bruno, has his mind, hopefully for his sake, not on other things, but he's got to be thinking about next week's cage match against Dr. Death.
You better believe it. These two guys have had some wars in the past, but this is going to be the war of wars, because when these two guys meet in the cage match, they're out for blood. I mean, there's hate here. These two guys hate each other's guts. And once that cage door slams shut, you're going to see two maniacs really go out there trying to destroy one another.
And that is next week, right here on Sports Channel America.
Hey, the Golden Greek is back again, you guys.
Back
Lucky
again.
It's your lucky day again.
Who invited you here, huh?
I mean, I invited myself because I'm taking over the UWF. The Golden Greek is taking over the UWF. And you'll be working for me pretty soon, Bruno. And you too, DeGeorge. The reason I'm here is that I want to prove to you people that I have the greatest tag team combination in the world today. And it's on next. It's Orton and Cactus Jack as a team. The first time ever.
Wait, we know
television.
those guys are tough, but how much experience have they had as a team? How many matches have they been together?
You want to know something, Bruno? Ever since I met you, you're always moaning, groaning, bitching, crying. You remind me of about 100 chickens quacking and laying eggs. You understand? Why don't you keep quiet? I'm done.
I asked you a simple question. What experience have these two had as a team for you to come here and say that they're one of the best, if not the best?
Because I said so, and when the Golden Greek speaks, he speaks the truth.
Of course. John, why don't you take a walk? You know,
I'll take a walk.
Nobody invited you here, okay? We'll see just how good your team is.
Nice to see you.
Well,
Mr. Wonderful, worried about Carmine Galvano here. What in the world is he's saying you...
Nice to see you. Did you mean that? I didn't say. Never nice to see the Greek. Never know what the guy's going to do or say next. It's crazy.
He's telling you to keep quiet here, and you're here to broadcast. Something's not working there.
Well, anyway, we'll see next week just how good they are as a team, Cactus and Orton. Right now, Orndorff.
We'll actually see him coming up right next to Bruno.
That's right.
Orton and Cactus Jack against Wet and Wild. Right here, Mr. Wonderful.
You know, that Wet and Wild, I got news for you. You know, these guys, for not having been together too long, they do quite well together as a team. And I think that Mr. Tolos might be surprised as to how effective they might be against this team. Oh, look at this. Here it comes. You know what this means? It means
like
curtains for Galvano.
A pile driver by Orndorff.
Nobody does it like Orndorff.
Textbook pile driver by Mr. Wonderful, looking good as he gets set for next week's cage match against Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Good little tune-up for Mr. Wonderful. The Dr. Death Paul Orndorff feud had its genesis back in October of last year after Steve Williams suddenly appeared in the ring following one of Orndorff's matches. A locker room scrap caught on videotape by a local Los Angeles TV crew, and what you're seeing now stills from another Williams trespass. All have fueled the flames.
Bloodbath in years, and the two greatest athletes are coming. New York, bloodbath, anything, you name it, Paul, it's gonna happen.
Then in January of this year, they met at the Pinta Hotel, and here is some of what took place.
Dr. Death going to work right away. Orndorff trying to get situated, can't do it. He thought he was going to surprise Dr. Death, but the veteran turned it around and got a couple of good boots in early on. Orndorff now gets an elbow in. I have not seen him in all the years I have known him this determined. Have you, Bruno?
No, there's no question about it. Look, like I said, you're not going to see a wrestling match here. You're going to see boots and everything flying here because these guys have been waiting for this, and like I said, there's an awful lot of energy. This is going to be just a brutal battle.
Paul Orndorff has wanted this return match for a long time, and so has Dr. Death. He says he is the toughest of all in wrestling inside the ring. That's very unorthodox. Williams trying to get leverage, comes up, double channel off the top. And he floors Orndorff.
It was a bloody battle, and a disqualification decision just added to the growing frustration of these adversarial warriors.
It's a bloody battle.
Perhaps symbolic that both happen to be wearing red.
All over their bodies.
Yeah, all over their bodies, not just the tights. Orndorff into the turnbuckle, gets out of the way in time. And Williams, Dr. Death going crashing into the turnbuckle. And now Orndorff, nothing coming. Oh boy, Dr. Death hit down Hernandez. Did he knock him out?
Yeah, but now the question is that an automatic disqualification? Because he deliberately hit the referee, Williams did.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hernandez hasn't counted out. They're hammering right to left. Here comes some help from the outside as Orndorff and Dr. Death continue to hammer away. Look out, Bruno. They might come in our direction. Everybody coming in the ring now. Looks like Waze is in the ring. Michaels is in the ring. Williams trying to separate these two guys. Orndorff and Dr. Death continue to go at it.
And they're knocking everybody that's interfering away. Look at this. They're knocking guys left and right. They're saying, leave us alone. We're going to battle this to the finish.
Chris Michaels pulled away Orndorff. A couple more guys coming in. Here comes the power quiz. Fernandez is around. What's going on here? This is just broken loose.
My God, you got a dozen wrestlers and they're trying to pull these two maniacs apart.
Keep your eye on Bruno Sammartino maybe next to the ring.
No, I think let's just stay here with you.
Here comes Sonny Beach, the Rock, Don Muraco.
And look at this. Williams just got flying across.
Why? This is no team picture, folks.
How much? They got a dozen wrestlers and they can't pull these two guys apart. That tackle, I mean, he really...
Then in February, the 10-man lumberjack brawl was set up to hopefully decide a winner and put an end to the feud. But the match soon became a free-for-all.
On Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful.
This used to be my favorite submission hold, especially throughout the 60s and 70s. I always used to use this as a finishing hold. Really? Devastating move.
You don't see it very often, though, do you?
No, not anymore. I very seldom see it.
Good backdrop. Muraco, atomic drops him.
There's
and Orndorff got the suitcase. Can't use it as a weapon.
Was given the victory on another disqualification, but it was a victory he simply did not want.
The question is, does he know who knocked him out, or did he see Orndorff with that suitcase?
Well, it sounds a little premature to me. He didn't actually hit him with it, although that...
Well, but it has to be one of those two things. Either he caught Williams hitting him and disqualifying him for that, or he caught Orndorff for that suitcase. But
Steve Williams is disqualified for hitting the referee. The winner, Paul Orndorff.
There's only one way to settle this, Herb. And I want to ask you and the officials of the UWF to take this challenge to Dr. Death Steve Williams. I want a cage match. That's the only way.
So now we've come down to this, and next week Steve Williams and Paul Orndorff clash in a volatile steel cage match, and maybe this time at last a winner will emerge.
Boy, I just stepped off the plane from Tokyo, Japan, and the first person I see is some bum from New York City, having his hand out, giving for handouts, asking for a little spare change. Well, you know something? It reminds me of that beautiful, wonderful Paul Orndorff asking everybody for a little help. Well, Paul, it's the big cage. You know what it means, and everybody around the world knows what it means. One man, two men in, one man leaves. And Polly, I know about steel cages. I know about steel pipes. I know about steel chairs. Daddy, when it's over, the man of the hour will be standing when all the smoke clears. That's right, the only champion and the champion, Dr. Death.
That's next week on the Fury Hour. Steve Williams and Paul Orndorff in a colossal steel cage brawl. We'll be right back.
What? You think it's easy being Mr. Wonderful? Well, it's not true. People are always trying to throw me around. And to make sure that doesn't happen, I use Joe Weider's Total Arm Blaster. It's the best way I know to keep my arms pumped and strong. So if you want massive steel-like arms, do what I do. Blast away with the Total Arm Blaster. And here's the same number that I called.
It's where all the UWF superstars train. It's the Power Shack Gym. And it tells everyone just how serious you are about working out. Now, the UWF, in an exclusive agreement with Power Shack, is selling these impossible-to-get rag shirts and back shirts through this exclusive UWF offer.
And again, next week, we will announce exactly where Beach Brawl will be taking place. Here's the main event for the Cowboy Bob Orton and Cactus Jack in a tag team match against Wet and Wild.
Yes, indeed. And they are led by John Tolos. Listen to that audience. This is going to be a good match because, you know, Wet and Wild, as I've said time and again now, Greg, these guys have not had a lot of experience together as a team, but somehow from the first time they were put together, you remember, you and I commented on, they seemed to really gel well together, and they did well, very well with each other. Of course, they've never faced the duo of Cactus Jack and Bob Orton. It'll be real interesting and a real test for them.
We'll have to see, but you are right. We commented that they just seem to have that chemistry that you look for in a tag team. And of course, that would be very unusual to have it in your early matches. That's something that sort of you have to develop. But at the same token, the Ace Cowboy Bob Orton and Cactus Jack seem to be kind of thinking along the same lines, which is obviously very difficult to do when you're talking about a guy like Cactus Jack.
Well, you know, again, we talk about Wet and Wild and how much experience they've had together. The question also comes is how much experience have these two guys had together as far as Cactus Jack and Bob Orton? Not much there either. Be interesting to see how well they gel. And as you said, Cactus Jack is a strange individual. I don't know, can he gel with anybody? Of course, you have guys, you know, you have John Tolos out there to direct these two, and we'll see how successful he will be as far as helping these two to gel well together, as far as directing them as to when to get in and out and so forth.
How about those fans, Bruno, saying that Sunny Beach does not have a good tan?
Sunny Beach does not have a good tan?
They just had a sign that said, "Hey, Whitey, you call that a tan?"
Oh, he looks pretty tan to me here.
There's a guy that's pretty suave as well. The Wild thing, Steve Ray. Very popular with the crowd here, both of these gentlemen. John Tolos is still in the ring. I think he likes to stay in the ring as long as possible to recall those good old days.
Well, perhaps, but now he does plenty of damage outside the ring. And there's Cactus Jack starting with Wet. What a name, Wet.
Not quite like Larry and Dave and the Power Twins. I think we'll be able to tell these two guys apart.
Yes,
Here's
indeed.
Sunny Beach, and with Cactus Jack, our main event here on the Fury Hour. And again, next week we will have the location of Beach Brawl, which comes up June the 9th, available on pay-per-view nationwide. Of course, we're back in New York City, Bruno, coming up in a few short weeks. Friday, May the 10th, back at the Hotel Pennsylvania for another UWF taping. And we hope to see those of you in the Northeast on hand at the Penta across the street from Madison Square Garden in the Big Apple.
Absolutely. I hope everyone comes because it'll be an exciting show again, as always. And right now, there's a nice reversal of Sunny Beach as he hip tossed and a drop kick as he hit to Cactus Jack, and it looks like a slam.
Trying to pick him up, though, but Cactus Jack, who goes close to 280, lands right back down on Sunny Beach. Now Jack backpedals into the turnbuckle, and Beach feels like he did some damage there. And you never know with Cactus Jack. You just cannot size up the guy, Bruno.
Absolutely. Cactus Jack is a very, very unusual individual. You could pick him up and throw him 10 feet from the ring and have him land on concrete, and it doesn't seem to faze him. I don't know, this guy's immune to pain.
The guy most likely will smile, too, after something like that.
Yes, and he's such a beautiful smile, too.
Yeah. Orton, again, a good reversal by Sunny Beach. And there he goes into the turnbuckle. And a good tag in by Sunny Beach. We're going to look at Steve Ray. Ray tried to boot him. Did he get him? Yes.
Yes,
Knocked
he did.
him down. Tries to hook the leg. Doesn't have enough there. The cagey veteran able to wiggle out.
Well, see, now that was the quickness of Orton. When Wild Thing went to slam him, Orton came up with that knee, caught him right into the rib cage and stopped him. Tags Cactus Jack, and now Cactus Jack takes over.
Don't forget, next week, right here on Sports Channel America. Wow, the big steel cage match, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. This could be the match to decide it on.
Indeed, this is going to be the match that I believe will settle this issue once and for all between these two individuals. They hit each other. Nice body, flying body block there, but didn't keep Cactus down for the count of
He's going to try it again, it looks like. Bruno goes to the top rope. Ray cross body block again. They can do it this time. Now Orton comes in and knocks it off. You know, I'm wondering about that cage match, Bruno. The potential is so great for injury, and of course that could potentially knock out one of them from the elimination tournament to decide the UWF Sports Channel Championship. So a lot on the line next week, more than just a match, that's for sure.
And you're talking about two individuals certainly are considered among the top contenders for that Sports Channel American Television Championship. But by the same token, this is a necessary match coming up next week because these two have fought and fought and fought, and this match has to come to a conclusion, and the cage is the best way to do it.
Sonny Beach, very persistent with the leg takedowns. Now twists up Cactus Jack. Orton in a spectator role here, and also the Golden Greek John Tolos in a unusual spectator role.
Surprising right now, Tolos really hasn't interfered much up to this point, which is unusual because usually when anybody he's involved with doesn't this much time go by before you see Tolos somehow involved.
Yeah, let's underline up to this point.
And there he is. I see him in the background walking. Was that him with a red shirt?
That's him with another $4 sweatshirt.
$4 sweatshirt, huh? Just the discount places, right? Flea markets. That what he buys his clothes?
Yes.
I see.
And of course that hat.
So you're insinuating that the Golden Greek is also maybe a bit of a cheap Greek?
Well, not necessarily. I'm just saying he's not Mr. Style.
Better careful we don't hear you.
Sonny Beach going to work here on Cactus Jack. Got him twisted up and in trouble. He spins him around. Oh, takes a nasty clothesline.
Spun him too much. Spun him away too much. And instead of halfway to where I thought he was going to go for an atomic drop, spun him enough for Cactus to come up with a clothesliner. Tags Horton, and now Horton taking advantage of the situation. Is really on the beach.
I would think you got to feel good when your opponent does damage and then tags you and you come in against sort of a lame duck, if you will.
You notice how aggressive Horton is. I commented a week or so ago he was going slow after he had the opponent, and I think that don't be surprised if Tolos must have got him and said, "Hey, the heck's the matter with you? Don't you listen to me? You get an opponent in trouble, you really get on him. You really go on the attack," because that's what he's doing right now. You know, Tolos is known to really chew his man out when they're disappointed if he's not satisfied with their action in that ring. And of course, in that ring, they can never be vicious and violent enough to please Tolos.
Are you saying he actually took your advice, Bruno?
My advice?
Yeah.
No. I think he took Tolos' advice. Because I think Tolos, being the veteran that he is...
Just threw Wild Thing Ray into Dick Kroll, and Kroll appears to be out of it. And oh boy, look out now. Cactus Jack coming in, 2-on-1 job of Wild Thing Ray. Sonny Beach joins the fray. And Bedlam breaking loose in the ring. Rights or lefts.
They better be careful. Better be careful. Well, and there's the bell.
Amos, the other referee, came in and he rings the bell, but that's not going to stop this. Kroll is out of it.
It's going to stop this, but you know what it's going to do. It's going to conclude this match, and this match is going to end up in a disqualification. Of course, once a referee was knocked down like that, knocked out, really, what are you going to do? If another referee comes in, he certainly can just take over the job of referee, and he just comes in. Oh, look at
the surfboard. You recall that Beach hit him a few weeks ago with the surfboard, and now Amos does a good job to get rid of that thing. Get it back to the ocean.
Oh,
Cactus Jack, meanwhile, knocks out Beach.
Sonny Beach, they booked over the top rope. Meanwhile, look at Horton and the Wild Thing there. They're battling in the ring.
Look at Tolos getting involved. He's choking him.
Well, certainly we didn't expect this match to go out without Tolos having some kind of action in it.
Orton just nailed Wild Thing with a surfboard. And you know that he has a memory from getting hit with that thing a few weeks ago. Wild matchup, just what you would expect between these combatants.
Our next live UWF show takes place at the Hotel Pennsylvania in New York City, with the continuation of the elimination tournament to crown the eventual Sports Channel television champion. That'll be on Friday night, May the 10th, beginning at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday night, May 11th, another big event. The UWF travels upstate at the University of Delhi. Tickets for both of these great UWF wrestling shows are available now by calling 516-587-4UWF. Don't miss out. Call now!
UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation, the pinnacle in sports programming.